quarter of Brits have tattoos and 11% have visible ones, according to a sensational YouGov poll. Historically, being inked made landing a corporate job difficult, but in recent years, body art has crept into the boardroom and become less taboo in the workplace. In 2022, Virgin Atlantic became the first UK airline to allow crew members to uncover their tattoos on flights, while several police forces have become more permissive as well. But what do you think? Are visible tattoos in the workplace unprofessional? And are tattoos #common as muck? Let me know your thoughts. You can email me, mark@gbnews.com, tweet us @GBNews, and do vote in the poll. But to debate this, I'm delighted to welcome two queens of reality TV, Kim Woodburn, a very good friend of mine, and the marvellous Kerry Katona. Listen, Kim, great to have you back on the show. We'll leave Holly Willoughby to one side for the moment. What do you think about tattoos in the workplace?
You know, look, you can see a pretty little tattoo on somebody's hand, a pretty little thing, and you think it's tattoo, but it's rather nice. But when you see these people tattooed from head to toe, there's no flesh left, my love. They've even had horns put in their head. They've got their tongues split. Who the hell is going to employ them? They're limiting their work, aren't they? For instance, they'd never be able to be a barrister, would they? With the cloak and the wig on, tattooed. You'd never see a doctor like that. You'd never see... I mean, come on. It's unacceptable. And I do take your point. It was considered, and maybe still is now, to be as common as muck, to be absolutely tattooed from top to toe. I think it is as common as muck.
Well, Kerry Katona, you are pure class. You've been on my show before, and it's always a pleasure. But what about those tats? Aren't they a bit, Tats? Aren't they a little bit unsophisticated?
You know what? I think in the workforce, I think to a certain extent, Mrs. Woodburn, great to see you. Absolutely love you to bits. I do think if someone's, got horns growing out their head and... it's a bit over the top. Absolutely, it's a bit too much. But I tell you something, I think I'd trust a lot more politicians if I saw a few more tattoos on them.
Yeah, well, I just wonder, maybe it would make them more approachable, Kim.
No, but you see, most people that are covered from head to toe in tattoos are considered extroverts, aren't they? They know wherever they go, they're going to be stared at. And it makes me wonder, is there something lacking in their life, dear? And I'll tell you something else. About 2 years ago, there was a man who was tattooed head to toe in a supermarket, and it's terrible, it was horrible. And a little child passed by with its mother and screamed its head off. I thought, well, you do look frightening. So it's not acceptable.
I'm not being funny, but I've seen lots of kids scream at normal people without tattoos.
Well, if they're not, well, what do you mean? When a person is fully covered in tattoos, big red things, earrings on, clips here, this little baby screamed. The person looked horrific. You didn't look and say...
I also think as well, sorry to interrupt, I also think as well, tattoos also represent you as a person. It's almost like saying you can't get hair highlights when you go into work. You can't wear your makeup. To me, I love art. I collect lots of art. My house is full of artwork. I'm really into it. Like, this here on my arm, this is my angel of my auntie who passed away. That's a reminder for me. It tells a story. This is about my bipolar and strength, a reminder of me. I have my children tattooed on my wrist as a reminder never to self-harm. There's so much more to a story than somebody just looking for attention. It's always a reminder of where somebody comes from, of who they want to be. And it's like saying to a man, you can't wear makeup. I don't like the colour of your skin.
However, I just want to ask you, Kerry, whether it's professional. The idea of going to the bank and you sort of signing up for a mortgage and the mortgage advisor is covered in tats. He's got a knuckle. One knuckle says hate, the other knuckle says love. I'm sorry,
that does not make him bad at his job.
But does it inspire confidence? Does it inspire confidence? You want him to be serious, in a suit, grown up, with a smart haircut like mine.
I'm not being funny, but let's look at all these politicians and all the government. Not one of them have got any, it's all fart brains between the lot of them, and not one of them have got a tattoo, and I've got no confidence in them whatsoever. So maybe if they had a bit more tattoos on them, there's a bit more realistic, a bit more down to earth, maybe then us common folk would trust them a little bit more. But it's not about how you look, it's about how you are as a person from within inside.
Kerry, come on for a minute, will you please? Can I have a say? You've had your say, just be quiet. I don't like tattoos. You're a pretty woman. Those tattoos on your arm look horrible. And you're a good-looking woman. You look as common as...
I don't like your earrings either, Kim. I don't like your earrings, but that's
Kerry,
okay.
Kerry, let Kim speak. Let Kim speak and you can come back. Kim, finish your dressing down of Kerry. We both agree Kerry is a beautiful young woman, but you're not happy with the tattoos.
Kerry brought it up that nothing wrong with tattoos. Kerry's a very pretty girl. Those tattoos on her arm look as common as muck.
Okay,
They
well,
look as
your opinion of me, Kim, is not my business. You do not define me as a person. So what I want to do with my body...
let Kerry finish. Kerry, you finish. Sentence I've always wanted to say. Listen, Kim...
Never finishes. She's worse than me. Kerry needs the shield on her arm. Can she not remember their names?
Right, listen to me.
Order, ladies, please, one at a time. I'll tell you what's common as muck is interrupting each other. Kerry, make your point, please.
So I've even got what I'm saying because I can't get a word in. I mean, I've got a big list up my left leg of all my exes that I've had crossed out. Now, that is a joke. But what I am saying is, your opinion of me, of how I look and what I put on my body does not define me as a person. It isn't my business
let
what
Kerry
you
finish.
or anybody or what anybody else thinks of me. What I do with my body is my choice. I thank you for calling me pretty, but this is for my sobriety. This is about how blessed I am. And my compass, my moral compass. This is a reminder of my journey. My stretch marks on my body is signatures from my babies. This tells the story of my journey.
Let me tell you, I agree with that, and I've kept my stretch marks as well. I'm very proud of them. Kerry, can I just say I think your tats are lovely. I'm very happy with them. I know Kim doesn't agree. Kim, you're entitled not to agree. Now, listen, Kim, next thing. You are the queen of clean, OK? The star of Channel 4's How Clean Is Your House? Do you think that some people, not Kerry, but some people with loads of tattoos, does it give the impression that they're a bit dirty, a bit unclean?
No, I'm not going to say that, because I don't know about that.
A bit whiffy.
Look, if you want tattoos, you've got your body to have them. You can cover them up with your clothes. People that want to put outside their clothing and put them where they're noticed, all over their face, it looks awful. It looks awful. I'm sorry. And, I mean, Kerry, it's up to what she wants to do. I think for a pretty girl like her, and she's a very gorgeous face, when she lifts that arm up, I think, yuck.
But listen, what about the memories?
But it's like art, isn't it? It's if you go into an art gallery, your piece of art that you like might not like me. You know, I might prefer that piece of artwork or that piece of artwork. And that's what it's all about. It's all about individuality and non-judgmental.
Kerry,
sorry?
It's hanging on a wall piece of art, dear, not stuck on someone's face. You're going off the oil.
Well,
I love mine.
I wondered now whether I could actually make a personal confession, because I went to a tattoo parlour earlier today, and I do hope Mrs. Dolan doesn't mind, but I had this made. All right? And it says Kim with a big love heart on it. And then tomorrow, I'm going to get Kerry on the other side to keep both of you happy.
It won't make you happy. You look a right dope. And you ruined your hands.
We love you, Kim.
Listen, I tell you what, I'm going to get visited in the dead of night by Mr. Woodburn with a shotgun, most likely. I did want Kim forever, but there wasn't enough space on my hands. Listen, Kim, brilliant to have you back on the show.
Thank you very much. Those tattoos are shocking.
OK, there you go.
That's
Listen,
all right. I don't like
Kim,
your earrings either.
Kim is not pulling her bunches. Listen, Kerry, we love you loads. Don't change a thing. You're fabulous.
Never.
And so is Kim, and it's all about opinions. Your reaction, please, mark at gbnews.com. I mean, I think it's quite clear that I lost control of that piece of television. But what can you do? It's live telly, innit, folks? Welcome to GB News. Marcus on Twitter says, tattoos are not my personal cup of tea, but I prefer to judge a person by their actions, not by their appearance. Sean says tattoos are disgusting, especially on the neck or right down both arms. Don't understand why anyone would want to be covered in ink. Tony says, my surgeon had tattoos, but my tumour didn't care. Nor do I 20 years later. Well, the verdict is in. 65% agree that tattoos in the workplace are unprofessional. 35% say they are okay.